All right, here we are at Knoxville Raceway, Knoxville Hall of Fame Induction Day, and we're here with three-time 360 track champion Jake Peters from Sioux Falls. And first of all, where have you been the last few years? We haven't seen your name here for a while.
No, I haven't. But this has probably been about, I don't know, 7 years since I've been to Knoxville. I haven't raced since 2012 and just moved back to my hometown and been farming with my family and just kind of missed out on when I stopped racing. I stayed away for a few years just to kind of try to keep the itch keep the itch at bay. But well, we've been picking up a few races here and there, so it's nice to be back today.
What's some of your best memories, I guess, racing at Knoxville? You were here for a short time, but you had a lot of success in that short time.
Yeah, we raced 3 full seasons in the 360 class, and we won those 3 championships. And then that fourth year I was here, we were actually leading the points into July, I think, and I had got hurt racing at I-80 in the spring, and then at about the middle point in the summer, there sometime in July, I stopped racing because I was having a lot of problems, getting dizzy and things like that. But so back to your question about the highlights, I guess. We had a lot of fun those 3 years. We never did win the 360 Nationals, but I think we were on the front row twice in those 3 years, and just coming down and being competitive right out of the bat, and being able to win those championships. At least the first 2 years, I think it was John Carney out of Kansas, I believe, that was kind of him and I would run neck and neck for those championships, and it's always a lot of fun when John was a pretty fun guy, and he liked to pick on me a little bit, and it was always a lot of fun when you had a tight race right down to the end. So we had a lot of good memories down here.
Do you follow the sport at all today? Like, do you keep track of Clint Garner? He's from the same area in South Dakota.
Yeah, I do. I don't follow it real close, but yeah, I've been keeping tabs on Clinton. He's what's he up to? About seven or eight championships now, and yeah, he's really running awesome. And those guys have been at it for a long time and been coming to Knoxville for a long time and really focusing on Knoxville. They come on Friday and they stay till Sunday, and they put a lot of commitment into it. So they got to have a lot of pride in what they're doing. And he's a little bit lucky that I'm not still coming though.
We'll make sure he sees this. I'm sure there's a handful of people you want to thank for all the success you've had here and over your career racing.
Through my time here, probably the good fortune I had is John and Steve Fulkins of Fulkin Brothers Trucking. They called me up and we got together and I raced with them those years I was down here. They were really probably the main sponsor that helped finance the whole thing. And then I had a couple of guys, Craig Bowl and Justin Bays, that were mechanics and crew members for me, through my whole career really. And those are the main guys, but there's everybody gets a lot of help along the way, through your competitors, and Mark Birch was a guy that helped me a lot over the years. Doug DeWall, I raced for Doug a little bit later in my career, but there's always guys you'd seek out advice from during your career, and Randy Nygaard when I first started, Brian Schnee, Doug Wolfgang, you learn from everybody you race with. In Nebraska, I did a lot of racing against Billy Alley. In North Dakota, it was Lauren Langrud. In Minnesota, it was Matt Spies and Tim Monson when I first got started. And you pick up a little bit from all those guys, and then just kind of come up with your own recipe for how you do things. And we want to thank everybody we raced against and guys that helped us along the way.
Do you have a good Doug Wolfgang story?
Boy, you put me on the spot. I'm not very good at that.
Favorite memory of Doug Wolfgang racing, though? He's from your same hometown area. You've got to have a lot of childhood memories of watching him race.
Well, I never, I wasn't from the Sioux Falls area. I never really saw Doug when he was in his prime. I never grew up watching Doug, but I ran his cars for a few years, later on into my career, and he always had a really direct matter of telling you what he thought and whatever, and I appreciated that, but to tell you a particular story, I'm probably not going to have one.
All right, well, with that, congratulations, Jake. Thanks for coming down to Knoxville today, and glad you're here and your family and can celebrate tonight.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks.